No, did that ever give you any room for pause? Were you ever concerned, and not just like from a Tyra point of view, but like we just said, Nigel, you know, his character in the book, well, the character that people will assume is about him in the book is a bit of a sexual predator. You know, Miss J's character that people will assume is about him, Miss Thing, not you know, a little shallow and bitchy.
Yeah, well, Miss Thing's character, she's real. Like, there are these different archetypes in the book, and when I sat down and doing research before I wrote a page, I worked with two different psychologists and interviewed them, and I presented my case studies because I wanted to really look at the intentions behind what characters are doing within the construct of this story that I'm going to tell. So that's number one.
Yes.
Number two, you know, again. And to clarify, you know, the Mason Hughes character, not really so much. I don't think he's painted as a sexual predator. There is a scene that is where it is a little bit of like, I think more of a misunderstanding and a sexual advance. But again,
see, when I read that scene, it felt very aggressive and yeah, it felt very. So for me, very aggressive kind of goes beyond just like kind of like a workplace like flirtation or what have you.
Sure.
It's like, you know.
No. It is very beyond a flirtation. And, you know, Bevy, you're the first person to actually kind of bring that scene up in any interviews. And so to answer it quite honestly, and to clear the air so no one's concerned, there's nothing like that actually happened between, if people are going to compare Pablo to me, between me and anyone, any talent or producer on the staff. But unfortunately, something like that happened with me in the industry outside of the show. So because the book takes place behind the scenes of Model News, a fictitious model reality show, I had to kind of work it into that narrative because it does absolutely tie into the main story arc and the ending. It is something that I experienced, unfortunately, and I never really talked about it because I just don't feel like I have something to say or to contribute to, you know, the people who really, really suffered in this era of Me Too, and so it's worked into this story. But
yeah.
But
you know
so
what,
I
Jay,
just don't want anyone to think anything weird happened there. Yeah.